Hello, mini four-wheel drive friends. So the next step to creating your open class car is to process all of the carbon elements in it. So I have here 8 plates, and I took the liberty of attaching the front plate onto basically the brake plate here, because this is going to be our front part of the car. And what you need to do is you need to basically take all of your plates and mark them up with a silver marker. So here, I'm going to want to shave off the sides here. And so I mark them off like this, the sides and the sides, so that it's going to end up looking something like this. And that's going to be our rear brake plate. So if you take a look at my Green Lantern car here, the rear brake plate is basically this piece right here, so, with the tails on the ends cut off. So you can use a Dremel, you can use any sorts of like filing, sanding devices to basically pare this part down so that this ends up looking like this. So other things to look at, this front plate part here I marked in silver where this should be shaved off. So I'm not going to keep this attached while I shave this bottom part off. In fact, I'm going to remove this piece now so you can take a look at what I'm talking about to make it a little more clear. So you want to attach these 2 parts on because they represent the front part, the front pivoting part of this pivoting system. So here, moving our lock nut here. And really, you could design your pivoting systems, you can design your plates the way you want. So don't see this as gospel, but see this as more like guidelines. So a lot of people might want to shave off as little as possible to retain the integrity of the plate. Others might want to try to pare down the plate as much as possible for weight purposes. So they want to make their system as lightweight as possible. And to do that, you have to basically shave off as much as you can, or even shave off or carve out things within the plate itself. Because these are pretty strong. These are pretty strong, so it's very difficult to break these things, but they can be broken, especially if you remove so much that you lose the integrity of the plate. So here, I've marked this so that I'm paring off this part and this part using a Dremel, taking off this part and this part so that all that remains is the stuff that you see here on this. And that basically is, you can see right here, actually you can see it better on the Grim Reaper. This is where I shaved off those pieces there. So there you go. That's this front part right here. Now, what is beautiful about all of these pieces here is the fact that, look, there's like a natural line right there where you can basically shave off a line parallel to where this design is. So all of these plates have this kind of like this U-shaped design right here. And so you just basically pare off what you see here in parallel to that line right there, shave off this in parallel to that line, and you'll see that the yellow plate is no different, the green plates are no different, and they all have that line where you can basically kind of eyeball where you should be paring things down. So that's pretty cool that they've kept this design, and it's almost like they had an idea that people were going to do this. So that's pretty cool. So there's one plate, there's 2 plates that you actually don't need to do anything to, and that's the rear. The rear, you don't have to pare down anything on there, but you could if you wanted to try to make it more lightweight. And also, this plate that supports the entire thing right here, I think the only thing that you need to do here is to pare off enough so that you can attach this plate on here like this. So that just requires you to take off, these top 2 holes here. So that's it for that. So here we have these 2 very interesting plates that I marked up, and I'm going to show you what they comprise. So take a look at these 2 plates right here, and I'm going to match them up. You'll see that it creates something that looks like this. So I'm going to remove all the stuff that's here. I'm going to remove this stuff here, this stuff here. I'm going to remove this stuff here and here, these 2 end wings. And so this is basically this right here. It's the body damper right here. So Let's see, do I have it flipped the right way? Yes, so there we go. It looks like that. And we have here the final piece of this. I am taking off this part, all this stuff, and the silver, and this part, so that we just get this inside part, this U shape. This U shape is for this part here, which I have fabricated as in FRP, right here. Now, there are some advantages to using FRP versus carbon. If you want something that's more stiff, then you'll use carbon. If you want something that has slight flex, then you'll use FRP. And you might be wondering, like, is there going to be a huge difference in performance? Well, yeah, it depends on what you're looking for. So if you're looking for a stiffer performance, a stiffer suspension, then you're going to use carbon. If you're looking for a slight flex, then you'll want to use the FRP. And so the FRP is a lot more forgiving, especially when you're landing off of an incline. So yeah, there's going to be there's like a micro, a very tiny percentage of more flex in the suspension if you use the FRP. If you take a look at what's going on here, this kind of forward movement and lift up on the ends here, you don't really need to have any flex there, but the flex is always nice to have in case you're going through like very wicked tracks, like those digital curves, for example. Those are very harsh on certain cars. So if you don't have that flex and everything's really stiff, you might encounter issues trying to negotiate digital curves. So you want to make sure that there is that kind of microcosmal, is that a word? Like the smallest amount of flex, and that's why we have this kind of thing, so we can deal with digital curves a little bit better. Pretty cool. So yeah, that's the carbon plate processing that you'll need to do, and I'm going to process these at some point today, and then we'll proceed with fabricating all the pieces needed for this open class car. Yes, pretty cool. So everybody, if you like this video, please slam the like button, subscribe to my channel. You'll see more videos just like this one. Until next time, everybody, see you. Bye.